All right, good evening, race fans. It's time for another edition of the fastest show on the web. If it has a motor and goes fast, you know we're going to talk about it. Where it's not a pastime, it's a passion. Every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., it's Chaotic Motorsports. Only on chaoticradio.com. 909-989-0789 is the only number you need to know for the next hour. If you want to call up the show, talk a little racing or motorsports, whether it's two wheels or four wheels, we will cover it. That's your number to call. After a week away, we are back. Feeling a little under the weather last week. The Axe F1 correspondent is in the house. How you feeling, Willie?
Pretty good. How are you?
And, of course, as always, the bomber, Blaine Humbles. We couldn't do without him.
Boom.
Boom goes the producer.
Damn.
Wait, what's that one on YouTube? Boom goes the dynamite? That guy tries to announce? That's pretty lame.
That's...
If you get a chance, watch
it.
Blake's just going, never, ever say that.
And, of course, my name is Chappy, and this is Chaotic Motorsports, only on chaoticradio.com. And make sure you listen to all the great shows we have to offer here at the station. We are in the penthouse in an undisclosed? There we go.
There he is.
First one. I haven't had enough in me yet. But, hey, things quieting down. It's a silly season, if you will, and all those rumors are coming about. I got a few, and I think they're beyond rumors. I think these things are going to come true, and we'll get credit for that before you hear it anywhere else. Got a special guest, Jeff Peterson, races late models as well as super trucks. And Jeff is a 24-year-old upcoming racer out of Riverside. And we'll have about 25 minutes to chat with Jeff. So we appreciate Jeff coming on the show, and he'll be with us at the bottom of the hour. The Axe, our F1 correspondent, busy schedule, and he gets the work done. And we'll give him the mic and let him talk some F1 with you. And I know he's going to talk about Haas.
Well, of course, but F1, and NASCAR, both of them wrapped up their series with their banquets. You had NASCAR in Vegas, and you had the F1 banquet in Paris. However, Bernie would like to call the F1 banquet the gala for reasons. Bernie, you know.
That's a famous AC/DC song, I believe. We've got big galas. Nothing?
Nope, I got nothing. Blaine, you got anything?
Pretty dry?
Let me see. I think I have something for that.
I actually thought that was pretty good. We'll hit the drums on that one.
Blaine.
Back to it, Axe.
So I got some winners and losers here. Top 10 winners, top 10 losers, F1 going here. So surprise packages, experimental liveries. The top 10 winners I want to talk about at number 1, I want to talk about Max Verstappen, a sensation in his rookie year. Verstappen killed it. Rookie year, you couldn't ask for anything better, really.
Great finishes.
For his rookie year, to me, he did an amazing job. Agreed? For being in Red Bull, that's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, agreed, and you don't see that too much in F1, motorsport racing. So, what a great season! The guy's obviously talented. He's going to go places. He's going big time up the ladder.
Well, he did, but he made an immediate impact and never let up thereafter. He's made an impact on the sport to the point where it shows that he came into the sport. Trying to find the right way to put this. He came into the sport, and it shows that someone of his stature, being from Russia and doing that, or not Russia, excuse me, but to do that, he was amazing. To me, anyway.
No, he had a great season. I think everybody agrees. If you agree or disagree, feel free to call in. That's the Axe talking F1. Kind of a little breakdown on 2015 season. Of course, dominated by the Mercedes and Hamilton, but Nico coming on strong there at the end.
Nico was coming on strong, but that brings me to number 2, Lewis Hamilton, now the 3-time world champion, with 43 victories to his credit and two more than his childhood dream, Ayrton Senna. You couldn't ask for much more than that.
Big name there with Senna. Big name there with Senna. You ready you seem a little flustered. I'm going to cool you down a little bit right now with some trivia. We'll get right into trivia. From 2000 to 2015, there has been 5 multi-time champions, guys that have won it more than 1 year. There's only been 2 guys that have only won it once. Can you name those 2 drivers?
Ooh. Vettel's out of the picture.
The bomber is eligible to answer as long as he's not Googling it.
Vettel's gone.
You can get extra credit if you name the guys that have won the multiples.
Well,
Schumacher.
Vettel has.
Of course.
Schumacher has, yeah.
2000 to 04?
That wasn't Schumacher?
Yeah, you got that right. You're right.
Okay.
You're on.
2004.
So-
Alonso.
I was
Alonso
Kimi.
506.
Kimmy.
There's your single winner, so you got one of them right.
Okay.
Boy, you're almost going in. You are going in order too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's it. I'm just running it through. Yeah.
You're up to
Why
07.
did I run him through the good ones?
And then 07's 08's Vettel.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Button.
Button is the other one. You got it. I
Jensen
figured you
Button.
were going to get it. You are on. That's why he's the F1 correspondent. Hamilton snuck one in 08, and then Button in 09, single-time winner. And then, of course, Vettel 10 through 13, and then Hamilton the last couple of years. So good one. Hey.
I guess I got it.
All right. Now back to you. Now I can tell you're all calmed down and ready to go. You got the trivia question right.
So, number 3, Mexico City on my list. Proof that absence makes the heart grow fonder. I mean, Mexico was gone last year in F1, came back, a great turnout. Rosberg winning that, great for Rosberg. My favorite part of that track still, I have to say, the stadium, how they cut through it. That was pretty special, and how they held the F1 ceremony after he won the race in the middle of that stadium.
Yeah, and we had discussed that, and that'd be a good idea to do something like that in the future. They are going to come back to Austin next year, though, correct? It's for sure on the schedule?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I know people were worried about that.
Yeah.
So good that it'll come back. There were some hot rumors going around last weekend at the racetracks, last couple of weeks, that there's going to be a Long Beach Grand Prix F1.
That would honestly be great to see. I would love that.
Great rumor to spread. I just...
Is it believable?
I just don't have any for sure's on that. It's definitely not going to be this year.
You know it was been there before. You know they've done, they've done it in the past.
Right, back in the day with those wild the two front tired cars.
Oh, jeez.
What year was that?
I believe Mario Andretti actually won it one. And I think
Mario won.
Jacques Villeneuve, his old man, won one there.
Yeah, there we go.
That'd be a good trivia question. What year were those F1 cars?
I'd be there for sure with F1 and then as well as Indy. That'd be great.
That'd be sweet.
Now you know the only way that's going to happen. Only one way that happens, and that's if Texas and COTA doesn't get the funding that they need.
Right, because they wouldn't come to the States twice.
Well, they possibly could. It's possible, but it would require the timing of that race is tricky because it would have to coincide with the Long Beach Grand Prix, and because they're not going to set the track up twice. Long Beach isn't going to set the track up twice.
Right.
You're probably not going to come to the States twice.
And Bomber, you've brought this up before. Can Long Beach, it's tight down there. Can they fit something as big as F1 nowadays in 2015, 2016?
I think they could.
It's pretty tight getting down there for the IndyCar race. You got to walk a couple miles after you park. Yeah. And F1 is how much more times bigger?
The atmosphere, the environment, the weather. I don't see why they couldn't.
Can't argue with that.
But I really feel like there are American cities that could capitalize much better than Long Beach. I don't know that they're necessarily auto racing meccas, but for me, an American Grand Prix like a road course that's on a city streets it would be really cool.
Make it something like Monaco in America.
Long Beach is called Monaco of the West.
Yeah.
Okay, and a couple past ones, could it be at like Detroit? Something like that.
I wouldn't do Detroit. I would probably. It would have to be a water town. It would have to. I would look at either New York. I would look at Seattle. I would even potentially look at Miami.
Something on the coast.
Yeah, it had to be something a little bit ritzy. It has to be near water, near money, near upscale stuff. Maybe San Francisco. You could really put some nice stuff in, but. Yeah, Long Beach is okay. It's just kind of like we all, it's people just look at that as Southern California.
Right.
We know the difference. We know better.
Right.
We know what Long Beach really is. And you're right. Trying to get that many people packed in down there, it is difficult, but it could be done. It most certainly could be done.
Be interesting, fun conversation to think about it and where they're going to put it. But yeah, the going to have the water, and over there in Detroit. I was trying to revitalize 8 Mile, ever since Eminem was over there, but not enough water. And, where the heck are we going to park the damn Chaotic yacht? So you got to remember that as well.
Just remember one thing, Tim. Just lose yourself in the moment because you have to own it. And don't ever let it go.
Dropping
you mean Chappy, right?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
He calls me Tim, and I keep looking
It's
behind
the
me. Who's he
cold weather,
talking
man.
to?
It's the cold weather. It's getting all
There we go. Hey, what else you got in F1, man? I got some little tidbits here we can talk about.
And number 4 on my list was Force India. I mean, best campaign in Force India's history. Over the final races, the team outscored Red Bull and only just trailed Williams 106 points to 97. So, I mean, that's amazing in itself right there. They had a podium in Russia, the fourth in team's history. In the team's history.
Nice. Good stuff. Doing your homework.
I mean, Force India had a great year this year. So I'm, in a sense, proud of them. They did a good job.
I hope Haas can do well in 2016. Really going to be watching them. It's going to be fun, those first couple races. We got to wait 2-3 months for our first race.
I know. And the suspense is honestly killing me because I can't wait to see Haas the way it is. Because for me, what I want to see Haas do is, I would love to see them do well in the first race. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But the thing I would love to see from them is how quick they learn from these other teams. Like, oh, we shouldn't do this. Switch to this.
Mm-hmm.
Haas's year is going to be kind of like a McLaren's year in the sense where they're just changing stuff. Because McLaren with that Honda, they just pretty much halfway through the year when they were out of it, they just said, dude, screw this, screw that. We're just going to start changing stuff on the motor until we can get this right.
Well, you have to remember, though, that Haas is not going to have the same problems that McLaren had. It's not going to have the same learning curve or the same issues because they're going with an established Ferrari motor that is already the number 3 and 4 fastest motor on the circuit right now. So actually building a car when you're talking suspension and aero, that's not going to be an issue for Haas. He has the expertise, he has the knowledge, he has the money, and he has the drive to do it. The issue is going to be, can the drivers that he puts behind the seats, the ones we know, Grosjean, can Grosjean keep the car on the track? That's going to be a problem because he hasn't been able to do that yet in his career.
Yeah.
And can the young Mexican prove that he's ready for this level of racing? Because he's going to have a fast car underneath him, and those Haas cars are going to be competitive.
They will be.
Yeah, they will.
Need the drivers.
They will put him on the podium this year. I promise you that.
Oh, nice call there. I like that. I don't know if I was going to go that far, but I have no problem with that, watching the American owner. What's up, Willie, and Bomber, with testing in the off-season? These guys get much time to go test at a real track that might be on the circuit somewhere?
No, they don't get time to test at all, really. I mean, the testing starts when Bernie says it starts. They can't test in this off-season. It's just a dead zone for everyone. It's vacation, in a sense. So, I mean, there's no testing until Bernie says, hey, you know what, these tracks, I'm opening these tracks, go test there. So that's the deal with... I
heard in the streets of Monaco, though, you can sign up for a How to Parallel Park class that Lewis Hamilton is now involved with. So
only if you have a $1 million whip that you're ready to wreck.
Right.
More than $1 million.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I mean, what do you do this time of year? Do you watch DVDs of old races? I mean, you got to be going crazy over there at the homestead.
It's not... it's frustrating because you're just sitting there and you're looking at I'm looking at my recordings, my DVR, and I'm going, that's an old race.
Seen this one 15 times, seen this one 22 times.
And then I'm looking at the clock and I go, I got a volleyball tournament tomorrow.
Yeah, let's not forget that you're a junior Olympic USA volleyball player. Digging the video, by the way. I saw that.
Thank you.
And that's some good stuff. That slow motion never gets old. That's
Digging
awesome.
the video? I was setting and spiking the video.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Right after I said it. Very good. Very good. Yeah, the one ball, if you non-volleyball players don't know that, it's the quick set. Willie comes up waiting for that quick set to the middle, and just that's awesome. One of the hardest plays to run, by the way. When I was playing, by the way, I don't know. You guys, you probably say different.
Now we run something called a slide, which is just.
What's that bump on your head? Do you keep bumping your head on the roof of these ceilings you play
I just
at?
go up to block, and sometimes the ball misses my arms and hits me in the head, and I still get it straight down. So
we do talk a little regular sports. If you remember, this show originally started as sports and motorsports, so it's okay, folks. You only motorsports fans, bear with us. We do break into some sports every once in a while. How about those LA Kings? So what else you got in F1, man? First half of the hour, looking at Jeff Peterson at 6:30. We got time.
Number 6 on my list, Sebastian Vettel. Gambled by leaving Red Bull, scored 12 podiums and 3 wins in 2014, and to join Ferrari, who claimed just 2 podiums and their worst season in modern times. I paid off to me.
He had a good season.
He had a good season.
He was right in it for third in the championship hunt right till the end, or in it for second. Right till the end, except Nico got hot right at the end.
Nico got really hot.
The last 6, he got hot. So, yeah, interesting one there. Good call with Vettel. I can't argue with any of these.
Well, yeah, I mean, and to think Vettel went to Ferrari on that huge gamble, and after having such a good season at Red Bull, going to Ferrari was probably a new step for him in a sense, where it was, I don't want to say a bigger team, but it was another competitive team, and he went in there with the right mindset. He went, I'm just going to go in there, see how it goes, and drive the car like I know how to drive it, and it paid off for him in the end.
All right, good list. Keep it going.
So
I like it.
Number 7, Marussia. So saved at the 11th hour prior to the season start. Their mere presence on the grid, let alone staying the course, is to be celebrated. Marussia, let's put it this way. Marussia has never really, in my eyes, been one of the top dominant teams in F1. They've always been towards the back in a sense. But the thing that I would admire about them is that they keep on trying, and I'm going to sound like a mom or something here, but they keep on trying, and that's honestly what racing is about in a sense. I'm cliche here, but at first you don't succeed, try and try again, and they just keep trying. They're changing stuff, their drivers are formidable. They have some pretty good drivers.
But how long do you give them participation trophies and saying thanks for coming?
That's where,
come on.
That's where I'm getting at.
Right, we're not about that here in America.
Exactly. That's where I'm getting at next year, is that you can only have a team like that for so long. You got to, maybe, I don't want to say forget them completely, but in a sense, they're honestly not cutting it in F1 right now. So, to me, taking them out of F1 would be kind of difficult and upset some people. But, look at the teams you got: Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull. You got all these different teams. And Marussia, you say Formula One, Marussia's not going to come up on the top 10 of what you're thinking, So, that's just me. But in number 8 on my list, Roman Grosjean, the new Haas driver.
Okay,
a superb season to his dominant teammate. Grosjean led Lotus teammate Pastor Maldonado 17-2 in qualifying and scored 188% of the Venezuelans' total points.
Pretty good.
Pretty teammate comparison, he smoked him. Let's just put it that way. He completely smoked Maldonado.
All right, that's 8.
And then speed traps, number 9. So Mexico City replaced Monza as the temple of top speed in 2015 with the high altitudes, record speeds of 360 kilometers an hour. Those high altitudes, thinner air, cars go faster. Simple.
I'm still stuck and fixated on the temple of top speed. I like that.
Temple of top speed. Come on.
I'm going to write that down. Can I use that when I announce?
Is that a new Indiana Jones sequel?
The Temple of Top Speed. Indiana Jones Goes Racing.
That'd actually be a pretty sick movie.
I wonder how many of Blaine's top 10s would be the same as yours, and I wonder how many new ones Blaine would bring in on his top 10 list.
Well, here, let me finish number 10. And actually, that'd be a good question. So, Alonso in the first lap is my headline for number 10 here. So, no driver made up more ground or on more occasions on the opening lap than the two-time champion. However, when the lights went out, the Spaniard was a force of nature, making up more than 40 places, an average of more than 2 per race over the season in that McLaren. However, when the race got going, we all saw McLaren Honda, no chance.
Then things changed. Yeah, but that would be cool to put together an onboard video, because they show that video of look at the start that Alonso got, right? And then edit it together, put it to some good music, and watch all his starts and count how many guys he gets by before they get to lap 1 or turn 1 are you talking about?
Either, to be honest with you.
Either one. Just once those lights go out. That's a good idea. Good point. Good call on that one. I like it.
So that was my top 10 winners. Blaine, any additions or subtractions in there or agreements?
No, you know what? I didn't have that. I agree with the majority of what you said. I'm going to go ahead and defer to you on that. I'm happy with what you've come up with.
What do you look forward to, Blaine, in 2016? Like kind of we'll have to do our Christmas I want for Christmas, for next week's show. Okay. But just a little teaser, just right off the bat. What are you looking for 2016 to improve on this? We've talked about it all year.
I'm pretty. Come on. I think it's the same thing. I want more parity. I want every team, or at least more than two teams or two drivers rather having a legitimate opportunity at winning a race when the green light flashes. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see.
Closer racing.
Yeah, I want to see cars and drivers getting after it. I want to see overtaking. I want to see more legitimate safety cars when they need it. Bring the field back together. This checking out just because you're faster in the straightaway has to stop. I mean, there's no reason why the car should be that much faster in a straightaway.
Well, and let me say this. What I don't want to see, I'm going to switch this up on you here, is the championship being clinched with 8 races to go.
No, we can't.
Don't want to see that.
But that does fall into what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, it completely
more
falls into what he's
passing,
talking about.
more competitive racing, more winners, different faces on the podium.
Yeah,
I would think.
I mean, and if I was on, in Blainetopia and I was Mr. Ecclestone, I would most certainly institute a system much like what NASCAR has done, much like what the NHRA has done, where after with 8 races to go, we'd whittle it down, and so that on the final day of racing, more than one person had a chance of winning the championship.
Yeah, I really like that idea. We covered that a couple weeks ago, and I really think that needs to be looked at, given a good hard look at, because like we said, everybody else has gone to it. NHRA followed suit with NASCAR, and it has worked. Although it backfired on them this last year with, they still had one championship in the pro classes out of the 4 pro classes. They had 2 still left to be decided, and that was Pro Stock Bike and Funny Car. Top Fuel and Pro Stock were decided. But there's been years where he showed up at Pomona, and all 4 were still undecided. So that's what they want. That was the whole point of that
excitement factor. Because then, like NASCAR, I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago. With their chase format, I mean, you always watch it because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Excuse me. But F1, I mean, no one gets really excited for that in the end, because what happens is you have that clinch with 8 races to go, and everyone's just like, this isn't exciting anymore. We know who won the championship. Nothing else is going to happen.
Right.
I mean, I watch it because, yes, I'm a hardcore F1 fan. For those hardcore F1 fans, we watch it because we enjoy the sport.
True.
The thing we were looking at is Nico and Alonso. Or not Alonso, Vettel. We were looking at Vettel and Nico and seeing who's going to get that second spot. But then Nico started to get on his hot streak again, and then Vettel fell back. So, I mean, they need to, going off what Blaine said again, they need to make it a more competitive, not competitive in a sense, but close racing environment in F1.
Right, this is true. Also, we don't want to ignore anybody else. Couple of important dates for you motorsports fans to mark down on the calendar. Daytona, of course, the 500 will get things started for NASCAR, and that'll be February 21st. March 20th, they'll be right down the road at Auto Club Speedway. They moved that to March 20th, so that's our local NASCAR race. And before that, February 11th through 14, the National Hot Rod Association will get started with the Winter Nationals. And I got to get into a few of my the rumor mill here, but this is pretty interesting stuff. Possible Alan Johnson to John Force Racing, where everybody thought, including us here, that he was going to go to Don Schumacher Racing, DSR. And Force might be getting that second Top Fuel dragster to back up Brittany in the Monster Energy machine. So Alan Johnson, one of the top 2-3 arguably best crew chiefs by far the last few years in the sport. So that would be pretty good signing for John Force. And you heard it here first on Kaotic Radio, Kaotic Motorsports. Look for a big Sean Langdon announcement as well. On a sad note, jet car driver Roger Gustin passed away earlier today. He's a legend. If you ever had a chance, they don't do it anymore at Pomona because of the sound and the neighbors being so close, but they used to do it at Orange County when they'd line up those jet cars and start smoking them and fire them and popping those things. And pretty cool. They don't run the ETs that a Top Fueler would run, but boy, those things are fun to watch. Always a crowd favorite. So R.I.P. to Roger Gustin, a legend in drag racing. As we said, Winter Nationals coming up in February. You were getting back to the banquets. pretty good moment that Tom Cruise came out and called your boy, got to intro Jeff Gordon up and put Gordon into tears at the NASCAR banquet. That was a good moment, too. So we got to cover that again. A couple weeks ago, our buddies, we've had them on the show, Steve Evans and Brock Nickel, Doug Nickel, Paris Speedway, and there's going to be a lot more Speedway. If you guys have never gotten a chance to see these 500cc Jawas, alcohol-burning machines with no brakes, go around a short oval track. It's crazy, and it'll be right down the road at Paris with several races, and we'll give you the schedule on those races. I will definitely report in on those. I will possibly be jumping on the microphone for all or some of those races. And as our buddy Brock Nickel at the Chaotic Karma last year had the bad broken leg, he called in for the update a couple weeks ago, is still on the mend, rehabbing hard. And congratulations to 16-year-old Luke Becker for taking the win a couple weeks ago over Max Rummel and Curtis Hamill, son of Billy Hamill, Billy the Bullet Hamill, a world champion and U.S. national champion from years past. Billy Hamill originally from Monrovia, California. So we like to cover it on 2 wheels as well as 4. And we'll have our super hot, super correspondent Lanny Smith is on the golf course, a little off season, but no, just kidding. She's been working hard, and she's got her motocross ready to go for 2016, and that'll get the year started out at Anaheim. So I know Lanny's getting excited for that. So that'll be cool. So as we approach break time, we'll get ready at the bottom of the hour here, and we are coming back with Jeff Peterson. Jeff is a 24-year-old local Riverside racer, runs late models, super trucks, and we'll be talking to Jeff Peterson. I rounded him up, as well as next Tuesday I talked to Fast Lap Lou Arlington, and we're finally going to make it happen. Me and you are going racing thanks to Fast Lap, so it's going to be the Chaotic Motorsports bragging rights. So you can get on the old top of the podium there.
My bragging rights.
So
he's
we'll see.
dusting off the second and third step for you.
Yeah, we'll see. So we'll be at Fast Lap, and we'll be talking to Lou Arlington. He's got a track right down the street, and he's got the track up at Vegas as well. So can't wait to talk to Fast Lap Lou Arlington, Fast Lap Go-Kart Centers. So, hey, a little Beach Boys Christmas music.
Beach Boys.
I'll let you take us to break. It'll be Jeff Peterson when we come back.
Jeff Peterson when we come back. Chaotic fans, don't go anywhere. Chaotic Motorsports. We'll be right back.
It's the little Saint Nick, little Saint Nick. It's the little Saint Nick, little Saint Nick.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
To your vehicle maintenance, we know you have a lot of options, but with so many options, it can be hard to find an honest and reliable shop. That's where Mike's Automotive comes in. At Mike's Automotive, we have a commitment to honest service at a reasonable price. Located in the heart of Upland, Mike's Automotive is ready to prove to you that honest auto repair still exists. So for starters, bring your car in for any major service and your oil change is on us. Call for an appointment today, 909-373-3040. That phone number again is 909-373-3040. Or find us on the web at mikesautomotiveandtire.com.
Arsenal.
Hey, Kevin.
What's up, Blaine?
I told you we can't bring Chris with us to Soccer Warehouse anymore. He just can't handle all the cool gear the Soccer Warehouse has in stock.
I know. Soccer Warehouse just has too many things to look at. His brain is on overload.
I have an idea. Next time, have him go to soccerwarehouse.com at home, and he can shop online.
That's a great idea, Blaine. We'll leave the Eastvale and Victorville locations for us civilized shoppers. We just can't take this guy anywhere in public. It's such a shame.
Kevin, it's not his fault. Soccer Warehouse's selection of authentic gear is second to none. He just doesn't know how to handle it.
Again, you're right. Soccer Warehouse is mighty impressive. Oh, and I need that new United kit. And I need that change kit. And the home shorts. And the away shorts.
Stay with me, Kevin. Oh no, I'm losing him too. Dang you, Soccer Warehouse. You're just too good.
And the backpack.
Manchester City. Stuttgart.
Avenger Cycle Works is a full-service and custom bike build repair shop specializing in motor rebuilds, transmission work, insurance repairs, performance mods, and much, much more. Avenger Cycle Works.
I am Zig, owner of Avenger Cycle Works in San Bernardino. I'm a rider just like you, and I ride every day. I'm also a rider coach, and know that a motorcycle needs to be in top shape. Whether it's just cruising down the road, hitting your favorite canyon, track day, or playing in the dirt, I have 30-plus years experience and hope I can take care of your bike like it's my my own. Call us today at 909-387-9700. That's 909-387-9700. Or take a look at our website at AvengersCycleWorks.com. We back our work in riding. Shiny side up.
Eat, drink, play, watch football all season long at Dave & Buster's. Come watch your favorite team at the best damn sports bar ever. And yes, we're open early every Sunday just for you. Make Dave & Buster's of Ontario Mills Mall your favorite football season destination. Come get your game on.
Riddle me this, Batman. Where can I find the best selection of comic books in the Inland Empire?
I'm not playing your twisted game, Nigma.
Oh, just answer the question, Batsy, and we'll let you go.
Yes, unless you think you have something to fear.
You might want to find someone to write new riddles. The answer is Four Color Fantasies comic book store in Rancho Cucamonga. They have the biggest selection of comics, graphic novels, and collectibles. For more information, visit them on the web at fourcolorfantasies.com or give them a call at 909-563-8751.
fourcolorfantasies.com, 909-563-8751. He got every detail correct.
Well, who came up with this ridiculous question?
You did.
Oh, you're right. I guess we'll leave that to you next time. Oh well, I guess we have to let him go.
But I didn't get to use my fear toxin.
Hey, what's up? This is Chappy from Chaotic Motorsports. Have you been thinking about riding a motorcycle? I have. Maybe for saving time and money on your commute or just being a weekend warrior. Then reach out to the crew at RideRight.net. Ride Right is the state's leading certified motorcycle training school that will help you get your DMV riding requirements to get your license fast.
Hey everyone, this is Zig from the Zig Zone, and not only do I raid the airwaves on my show, but I also have been a rider for more than 30 years. I am also a motorcycle training instructor for Ride Right. I've been teaching for Ride Right for over a decade, and I can tell you that all of the instructors are fantastic.
Whether you're new to riding or currently riding, want to improve your skills, Ride Right is for you. It's easy and very affordable with 3 locations in California to serve you: Riverside, Van Nuys, and Temecula, and more on the way. Go to their website at rideright.net. That's RIDERITE.net, or you can call them at 951-736-8179. That's 951-736-8179.
So even if you don't have a bike, call them. They supply the bikes for training and can help you get your license. Make sure you tell them Zig sent you and mention Chaotic Radio for a special discount. I will see you there.
We are back. Yeah, there's something down the track. We got guests every Tuesday night. This is chaoticradio.com. Listen to all the great shows on chaoticradio.com, including Blaine Humbles, the morning show, 8 to 11, Monday through Friday, with the repeat show in case you missed it or you're sleeping in. Immediately following at 11, and all the great shows, like we said. And look for the debut of new shows that might be coming out. Good to be with you guys once again. Chaotic Nation, getting the chaotic karma. And our next driver about to get the chaotic karma. Started racing in 2008, King Taco Trucks. Late model start. His first one was at Irwindale in 09. Part-time Super Trucks in 2011. So he gets behind the wheel of many different vehicles. Came back this year after a short hiatus, run late models and some truck races as well once again. Finished second 2 weeks ago in Havasu. 24-year-old racer from Riverside, California, right down the road. Give it up for Jeff Peterson. What's up, Jeff?
Not a whole lot, Chappy. How you doing tonight?
How you doing, man? You're sounding cool, calm, and collected. I take it you're not on the grid right now, getting ready to start a main event.
No, just finished up dinner here at the house.
Hey, good deal. What does a late model racer eat on a Tuesday night while he's listening to Chaotic Motorsports and doing interviews?
Oh, we had some chili and potatoes tonight.
Hey, that sounds good. That'll take about a half second off your lap time. That sounds good. Well, yeah. Jeff, thank you, first of all, for taking the time. I got the Axe Willie Axton shifter cart racer extraordinaire has also put in some laps where you have done some racing over there at Irwindale Speedway. First of all, let's get to the beginning. How'd you get your start? And let's see, about 8 out of 10 drivers that we get on this show started in go-karts. I don't think that's the same story with you, right?
Well, I actually did get my first taste of racing in go-karts. I ran a few go-kart races out at Rialto Airport on the circle track out there when I was about 10 years old. But my dad, he was always real big into racing, and he raced my whole life growing up. So growing up, I always wanted to be a race car driver. And once I got old enough to drive, then we got me in a go-kart for a few races, and then took a short hiatus from racing. The grades weren't all up to par, so I wasn't able to go racing. And then when I turned 17, my parents got me into a King Taco super truck out of Irwindale, which is what my dad used to race out there, and ran those for a couple years full time, and really got my first start in racing, really racing the trucks out of Irwindale on the half mile.
What's it like in the truck as far as handling what you can see while you're out there on the track compared to the cars?
Compared to the car, the truck, they don't turn as well. They kind of push a lot. Not as much horsepower, so you got to really have the thing rolling through the center of the corner to keep up the momentum. I feel they're just as competitive,
right,
as far as competition-wise and everything. And the trucks out of Irwindale, they're one of the hardest classes to be fast in, and you really have to have the truck working right. Otherwise, you won't be able to be running up front. And as far as the visibility, they're about the same. The trucks, they're a little bit more closed cockpit. Kind of got the sheet metals built up around you more, so it's not very good for claustrophobic people.
Right.
So, but no, they're definitely a blast. I love running both the trucks and the late models.
Good deal. Well, I'm glad to hear that the parents are doing a great job over there. If the grades suffer, you're out of the cockpit of the race car. So at least the Petersons are doing a great job over there raising you. And, you're young, you're 24, Riverside local, kind of a hotbed for local racing. What do you look for as far as 2016 is going on? Because you just got back into it and had a great finish at Havasu.
Yeah, we ran real great out at Havasu in the number 38 late model owned by Clay Wooster. As far as 2016 goes, not really sure on the plans yet. We will be back at Havasu January 16th for the second race out there for their winter series. As far as that, we're not sure what we're going to be doing after the races or after Havasu, if we'll be back out there, if we're going to run some Irwindale.
Right.
We're not sure exactly what we're going to do. After all, it does take money, and we are looking for sponsors right now. But yeah, so as of right now, 2016 is uncertain. So I hope to be able to find some funding and be able to go late model racing some more. And we got some great news the other day that Irwindale is planning a schedule for at least part of 2016.
Perfect.
So I hope to be back out there for a little bit of the year as well.
Good deal, man. Great start to the interview. We're talking with Jeff Peterson, local racer, 24 years old, late models, trucks as well. And we got Willie the Axe Axton in the house. I know he's done some laps out there at Irwindale, and I know he's dying to ask you a couple questions, Jeff.
Yeah, hey, man, it's the Axe. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, bud?
Real good, real good. So I've ran the late model out there with the LA Racing out there. And what you're saying, like the cockpits, I always noticed, like I got in that car, and it was a little, claustrophobic at first, and I'm not one to be very claustrophobic, and I got into that car, and I sit into the seat, and I'm going, geez, man, how are you supposed to drive this thing? And yeah, and I'm a pretty tall guy, I'm 6'3", I'm looking out the windshield, I'm going, this is like looking out of a Boeing, it's looking like out of an airplane. So I can't imagine how, in your perspective, like I'm going to say this, looking out of the late model is kind of like looking out of the cockpit of an airplane. But like, is the truck much different than that, or is it fairly the same?
Once you're looking out the windshield, it's pretty similar. As far as the seat position in the trucks are a lot smaller inside. They were actually based off of an off-road truck. So like for the taller guys like yourself, I'm only 5'8", so they kind of fit me pretty good. But even still, I had the seat as far back as it would go, but on the right side of you, over the exhaust, there was like a huge sheet metal tunnel that would come all the way up past your shoulders almost. And for the bigger guys, they'd hit their arms on that a lot. So really, that's the only difference between the interiors of the late model and the trucks is just they're a little bit more confined, I'd say, in the trucks than the late model. But looking out the windshield, they're pretty similar.
Oh, okay. And just one more question for you here. And I'm looking into getting in a truck next year at Irwindale. And I was just wondering what the biggest challenge you encountered when you moved into those trucks and how you adapted to it.
Really the biggest challenge was probably my confidence. I mean, when we went out there and my first time in the truck, even my mom will tell me all the time, she's like, I thought it was going to be a long season. I got out there and I was just running super slow. And just kind of had to build up my confidence. Like I was telling Chappy, I ran a few races in the go-kart out at Rialto Airport, but I mean, I ran probably 5 races tops. And so really the truck was the first time I ever drove a real race car. And it was just kind of hard to get used to running door to door with the guys. And I grew up out at Irwindale watching the races every night, but once I got behind the wheel, it was a totally different animal. But the trucks are definitely a blast to drive, and they're one of my favorite divisions to run.
Yeah, tell us about the feeling for the guys sitting at home listening to the show tonight. This is Chaotic Motorsports on chaoticradio.com. We're talking to Jeff Peterson. He's a young 24-year-old up-and-coming late model and super truck racer from Riverside, right down the road. What's that feeling in the 1 hour leading up to when you're going to take the green flag after practice, qualifying, heat races, and you get ready for that main event? You know you have a truck that's worthy of getting up on the podium. I mean, you've had several second-place finishes looking for some big wins. What kind of feelings do you get? Do you look up in the grandstand, see all the people, it's getting loud? Are you just totally game-face, tunnel vision, shutting everything out and just concentrating on the job you need to get done? What's that like?
Usually the moments leading up to the race, after we roll through tech, we'll sit on the back stretch and get ready to strap in the vehicle before the race. And, I'm all fun and games before the races. I mean, I'll be back there joking around with friends, joking around with the racers. And we just like to all have a good time. After all, we're one big family out there. And, I get nervous from time to time. Gotta go to the restroom right before the race each time. Getting ready to go. But, yeah, we look up in the grandstand and just kind of see everyone out there, and basically we just want to go out there and just put on a good show for them. And without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do and have the pleasure of racing on Saturday nights. But no, I wouldn't say I'm all game face. I'm out there always laughing, joking around, having a good time, and yeah, just even seconds before climbing in the car, we're out there cracking jokes and messing with each other, teasing each other, and it's all a good time.
That sounds good. I like the whole fact of keeping it loose out there, and I'm sure you can talk to your dad as he's a former, accomplished, experienced racer, and he has maybe a one-on-one with you to try to set you straight and give you some tidbits and some last-minute advice, last-second advice. Go down there and get the job done out on the racetrack. Hey, check this out, Jeff. We got you're generating some interest on the show. We got Frank Baldozer out of Baldozer Racing, another legend in the sport to a future legend of the sport, hopefully. Frank Baldozer, how are you, buddy?
Life is good, Chappy. What are you guys up to tonight?
Well, we got Jeff Peterson on the line. This is another guy you might want to, look for possibly getting on your race team in the future. It sounds like he's got game if you're going to venture into late models and the trucks. Jeff, do you got any game in the dirt, or you want to go back to the go-karts? Is this guy Baldozer is definitely the guy you want to hook up with.
He's the man.
Yeah, actually last year for Christmas, my mom got me a Corey Cruiseman dirt driving experience package, and me and my dad, we went up to Ventura, and I did the 30 laps on the sprint car, and that was a blast. Definitely way different from the asphalt. I ran a couple exhibition races on the dirt in the Legend Modifieds that Ray Evernham started. We ran one at Victorville and Bakersfield and also Santa Maria. I actually ended up winning the one up in Santa Maria. But yeah, I love dirt racing. It's a blast. And I often go out to Paris Auto Speedway and watch the dirt races out there and try and make it out for the midgets and the sprint cars all the time. And yeah, the dirt's a blast.
Yeah, there you go. You're keeping the doors open. Frank Baldozer, you're getting ready to do some dirt racing. This is your so-called off-season, but I have a feeling you're keeping busy out there. I enjoyed seeing you Saturday out at the Los Angeles Karting Championship banquet. What do you got for us, sir?
Well, we're getting ready to go do the Chili Bowl with the midgets, and we're going to do the shootout with the lightning sprints before that. And we're building a couple of new speedway sprints for up here in Victorville. And I've been beating on Axton for a couple of seasons to get that truck up and going, because we started at Irwindale in '99 with a Grand American. And I'm a pavement guy who's been forced to go dirt racing because we love both. So that's all we've got here in SoCal. But we want to get back at Irwindale and do some racing. We love it there.
That's awesome. Frank, you're in the game. You've been in the game for a long time. Any advice or any questions, anything you got for our guest, Jeff Peterson, 24 years old? Doing pretty well and so far throughout his career, looking for sponsorship as most drivers or all drivers are. Do you got anything for our guest, Jeff Peterson?
Yeah, I've been watching, and he does a real good job. He's a good shoe. The biggest thing that I tell everybody is seat time. It doesn't matter if it's a go-kart, late model, truck, midget, sprint cars, seat time. 3 times a week, get in there. Even I push the indoor karting for everybody. Go in, and it teaches you to be smooth and fast. And anybody out there that needs to get a hold of anybody, we're open for business. And what we like to do is we like to promote the drivers. That's what we shoot for. But we're dirt and pavement guys, and that's what we do.
Very awesome. Frank Baldozer, another future guest on this show. Hey, when you have about 30 minutes or an hour, you're going to come in live to the studio, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to do that. Like right now, I just sat in front of the computer, and I've been listening to your show, and I was trying to get a hold of Mr. Axton there. And like I said, we're ready to get back, to the pavement stuff, because we miss that, because I like polishing better than washing.
Well, it sounds good. I have Frank's number, so I'm going to make sure that Willie gets it and he contacts you pronto.
Get it from the Papa.
We'll make sure that you will no longer have to be looking for him. You might have to be looking for Jeff Peterson in the future as well. Frank, thank you very much. You put on a great banquet on Saturday for LAKC, and we're looking forward to a successful karting season as well as out there on the dirt, ladies and gentlemen, and he'll be a guest on the show in the future. That's Frank Baldozer, Baldozer Racing. Thanks a lot, Frank.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks a lot. Have a good evening, guys. Great show. Appreciate everything you do.
And we appreciate you listening. Frank Baldozer, another dedicated listener, chaoticradio.com, Chaotic Motorsports. We're taking some time to chat with Jeffrey Peterson, 24-year-old racer out of Riverside, California. And, Jeff, any hobbies away from the track that help keep you in shape and help keep the mind in tip-top shape before you get ready to go to the racetrack?
Yeah, like Frank was saying, the indoor go-karting. I got a group of buddies that we all like to go out to Fast Lap in Ontario and turn some laps with each other. I also like racing my RC cars a lot, playing paintball, airsoft, snowboarding, basically anything just kind of stay active and keep doing something. I actually have a adult softball game in about an hour tonight. We play Tuesday nights, and that's our whole team is all fellow racers, all from Orange Show and Irwindale, and we just go out there and just have a blast doing that.
Now, I know some of these racers don't have much game when they cross over to the regular sports growing up, such as something like softball. Now, how do a bunch of racers go do playing softball? Do you guys just get killed every week, or do you actually have some game out there?
Last season was our first season together, and we got smashed every game. This year, we've actually upped our game. We brought in a couple other guys that are more into stick and ball sports than we are, but we just got them. We have, oh yeah, for sure. We got a couple college ball players on our team that can only throw 100 miles an hour. They can't slow it down at all. So I mean, they throw it towards me, and I just get out of the way and let the ball go.
Go for a walk. Hey, we got a couple guys here at the station that you might want to hire onto the team. We got some players here throughout the station, so that's pretty cool. That's way cool. I like that. A little cross training there, keeping the mind fresh and ready to go. Do you have a career highlight so far? So far, because there's going to be more.
I say probably when we were running Orange Show back in 2010. We won quite a few races, set fast time quite a bit, and we were always kind of at a beat out there that year. And growing up, watching my dad race there and stuff when I was a kid, and my mom would park my stroller up in the stands, and we'd be there to watch Dad. And growing up watching him out there and being able to go out there and run really well and win a lot of races, I'd say that's probably my career highlight so far is doing that.
Yeah, it's a pretty, and hopefully you'll have more highlights throughout your career. Like we said, you're only 24. Willie has spoke about the whole family situation and the closeness and the racing family as well. But it is a little more special when you're around your family at the track, and you become part of a team as well as a family out there. And I know Willie has spoken about that in the past before on this show.
Yeah, I mean, the family is inspirational in any sport you do, pretty much. I mean, and you can obviously testify to that. You're watching your dad racing. And I mean, for me, it was my dad setting me on the couch in front of a NASCAR race and me pointing at the TV, pretty much not speaking, just going, I like that, and clapping and saying that looks cool, and him getting me out there in one of those go-karts. So I think you could probably testify to the fact that family or friends, if that matter, are pretty much essential to getting into any sport.
Oh yeah, for sure. Without my parents, I wouldn't be where I am today. We got a great group of friends, and got my uncle. He works on the car also, and they all dedicate a lot of time to doing this. And without family and friends, we wouldn't be able to do this. And if my dad wasn't racing when I was growing up, I don't know if I would have gotten so heavily into it, and I don't know what I'd be doing today. But without them, I can't speak about where I would be. And they're a great inspiration in my life, and they help me on and off the track. And yeah, family's number one out there, that's for sure.
Hey, Jeff, we're going to throw out a Kaotic invite to you. I got Fast Lap Lou Arlington as my guest next Tuesday night. And we love our indoor kart racing here as well. And since Frank Baldozer and you totally believe 100% in cross-training on the indoor go-kart track, you are now getting the invite to go join me and the Axe to see who can get to the top of the podium next Tuesday night for the first ever Kaotic Cup. So if you want to bring a couple of your buddies and come out and see if you can beat an old beaten down radio host, then you bring it on, sir. You're invited.
Oh, man, is that even a question? I mean, you know where I'm going to be, Chappy. I'm going to be right at the top there.
I'm going to try to invite a couple other fun racers. Let's make this thing competitive, and I'd much rather get a full field of 8 to 10 guys out there, and I know Willie would too, rather than just have me and Willie out there, beating up on Willie's dad and the bomber Blaine Humbles.
Well, I wouldn't just want to beat you.
Those guys are so slow they can't even be the pace car. I mean, we're going to need some competition out there.
Damn.
So we're going to have a chat with Fast Lap Lou Arlington. We're going to pump up Fast Lap right down the street there in Ontario. And did you ever go to the old location? I love the old location. That was a great track.
Yeah, I've actually only been to the new location probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, same here.
We used to go to the old location, man, at least once a week.
Oh yeah, I loved that track. I wish they could have duplicated that track, but this new track at the new location is still an awesome, challenging track. And they got a bunch of great people teamed up over there, that all the track personnel and the workers, and they treat us great over there. So I talked to Lou. We got the full invite. Let's go over there. Home. Yeah, but bring a couple heats worth of entry fee money, because you're going to need it. And we're going to make you work hard for it to get on the podium there, Jeff.
All right, sounds like a plan.
He's going challenge accepted, radio guy. I'm going to put you into the wall and turn one. I could tell by the way he said that.
That's my job. What's this?
So, hey man, do you got anything else for us? Willie, got anything else for Jeff? We're up against it a little bit. I think he's got time. You got a few more minutes?
Well, yeah. I mean, what I was wondering is, have you just run the oval, or have you gotten onto those road courses at all?
No, I've actually only ran oval. I'd love to get behind the wheel of a road course car. My dad, he also grew up running at Willow Springs, and that's an iconic track here in Southern California. And and I'd love to get behind the wheel and go see if I can turn right as well as I can turn left also.
That's a good one, man. We definitely look forward to, you had mentioned before, your 2016 schedule, at least the beginning of it. You're going January 16th back out to Havasu. And a lot of the locals here in Southern California either have vacation homes or head out to the river a lot, or the lake in this case. But if you have not been out to that track, beautiful facility. You've mentioned Irwindale, Orange Show, Havasu. Do you have a favorite track? Are you getting to know them all quite well and you feel confident on all three, or do you actually have a favorite racetrack out there that you go run on?
I love racing at all of them. But I'd say my favorite, so far as the Orange Show, I really like the real tight, close, short track racing like that. Havasu's pretty similar.
Good deal.
But I'd say Orange Show is probably my favorite.
Well, I hope definitely you get some sponsorship help. If anybody's listening right now and you're looking at sponsoring an up-and-coming driver with a good head on his shoulders and comes from a family background and likes getting to the podium and seems very passionate about his racing, and you want to sponsor this kid, Jeffrey Peterson, and if you need any contact information, you can contact us here at the studio or Jeffrey Peterson as well on Facebook. Willie's got something for you, I know. He's hot for questions right here.
No, I'll tell you what. We got to get you out there to Cal Speed and put you in that 125 shifter cart out there. That'll be a little road course taste for you.
And the challenges continue.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a blast. I did the Cal Speed Super Series deal out there earlier this year. I did the oval round. And
there you go.
My boss over at Bergerson's Heating and Air Conditioning used to have 125 Rotax carts, and we go out there and play around on the road course. So,
nice.
But really, that's my only road course experience is some practice days in the go-kart.
Well, I think you would do just fine. I know you have some people, although you are still looking for sponsors, as you mentioned. I know you have some people that you would like to thank. Obviously, you race at number 38 for Clay Wooster Racing, and look for him January 16th at Havasu. Go ahead. It's your mic, Jeff. Go ahead and thank the people that are special to your racing team and to your heart.
Yeah, I can't thank my mom and my dad enough. All my family and friends for all the sacrifices they've made to get me where I'm at. Clay Wooster, Billy Wooster, can't thank them enough for letting me drive an awesome race car. Jeff Williams, he put me in his Southwest Tour truck a couple times this year out of Irwindale and ran really well in that. So gotta thank Jeff and Jackie Williams, Jim and Gail Van Gordon with Van Gordon Racing Engines. They always make sure that we got the most horsepower possible out there. And I gotta thank my little brother. He's sitting over on the other side of the couch just pointing at himself like, hey, thank me, bud. But yeah, I gotta thank all my friends and family for all the sacrifices they've made on Saturdays just to get out there and make everything possible for us.
We appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. You now have the Kaotic Karma, not that you need it. Not that you need it on the racetrack, although you're going to get it, but it sounds like you might need a little more of that karma getting the sponsors. You heard it, future sponsors looking for a racer. This guy right here, Jeffrey Peterson. There's tons of them out here in Southern California, but some of them are just a little bit better than others. And, hey, man, if you guys aren't doing anything, we have our 7-year drifting anniversary. I'm on the mic. I'm the track announcer out there at Adams Motorsports Park for Drift Night. Come on out this Thursday night. I'll call you off air, and we'll set that up for you. I'd love for you to come out and be my guest. You can bring the girlfriend, bring a couple of the homies, whatever you want to do, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show.
Sounds good. Yeah, I appreciate you you let me be on the show and let me talk about my racing and what our future holds. And yeah, I want to thank you guys a lot. And yeah, I'll definitely be down to Adams sometime soon. Yeah, I only live about 10 minutes away from there, so I'll have to come down and see you guys.
Sounds good. Well, I'll call you and hook you up on that. And remember, put it on your calendar next Tuesday as well. So you can come watch me in action. They actually have a go-kart at Fast Lap with the rear view mirror on it, so I can see how you and Willie are doing. So we appreciate you coming out there and going for second and third step on the podium.
You can see how we're doing when we're coming up to lap you.
Jeff Peterson, ladies and gentlemen.
Right there.
Where's his mute switch? 24 years old out of Riverside, California. Runs for Clay Wooster Racing. Check him out January 16th at Lake Havasu Speedway in that number 38 machine. Jeffrey Peterson, everybody out of Riverside. Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Chappy. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, man.
Jeffrey Peterson, good interview. Another up-and-coming racer. I'm telling you, who would have thought this was a hotbed of future racers?
Right.
So,
Cali.
You know, that's awesome. Great interview. He was totally pumped up for coming on the show. And a great interview by Jeffrey Peterson. Any closing thoughts before we get ready to
I just
close it
say,
up?
Frank Baldozier is a true ambassador of the sport. Great guy. He's amazing. Frank Baldozier is pretty much... Wow.
We might need a whole nother 1 hour so Willie can thank Frank Baldozier.
He is. I'm not kidding. He is. Ask anyone.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I think you need more time. You have a whole book written right there on Frank Baldoza. I didn't know you did all this.
On it.
When are you doing homework?
I could write a book.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, like to thank the Axe, Willie Axton. He'd like to thank Frank Baldoza. We'd like to thank Frank Baldoza for calling in. Jeffrey Peterson, the bomber, Blaine Humbles. Lanny Smith has some time off, but that doesn't mean she's not working on some great shows coming up. She is our two-wheel correspondent. It is almost Supercross time. Stay tuned for all the great shows. All the new shows going to be determined here and announced. And tune in every Tuesday night to our show, Chaotic Motorsports, every Tuesday night, 6 to 7, only on chaoticradio.com. See you at the track.
To the world and everybody wins.